Welcome to the journey of the Major Arcana, the heart and soul of the tarot. The Major Arcana consists of 22 cards, numbered from 0 to 21, beginning with the Fool and ending with the World. Unlike the Minor Arcana, which deals with day-to-day events and personal details, the Major Arcana reveals life's big themes, spiritual lessons, pivotal experiences, and archetypal energies that shape our growth and transformation. These cards are not just illustrations, they're symbols of the human journey. The Fool's innocent leap into the unknown begins a cycle known as the Fool's Journey, a metaphor for each of our paths through life. Along the way, the Fool encounters figures like the Magician, the Lovers, Strength, and the Hermit, each teaching a lesson, challenging a belief, or revealing a deeper truth. The Major Arcana can be thought of as chapters in a story, one that moves from birth and curiosity through challenge, change, and enlightenment, all the way to completion and integration. When one of these cards appears in a reading, it usually points to something significant. It may be a turning point, a deep inner process, or a call to reflect on your purpose and path. Each card carries layers of meaning, visual symbolism, spiritual associations, astrological links, and elemental energy. Together, they create a map of the soul's evolution, from innocence to experience, from chaos to clarity. So whether you're reading tarot for guidance, reflection, or personal growth, the Major Arcana offers a powerful lens into the story behind the moment. This isn't just fortune-telling, it's a mirror, a journey, and an invitation to meet yourself, not just as you are, but as you're becoming. Welcome to the world of tarot, where every card is a story waiting to unfold. Today we explore the Fool, numbered 0, the beginning and end, the start of every journey. Imagine a young traveller standing at the edge of a cliff. He gazes skyward, blissfully unaware of the drop before him. A small white dog follows faithfully at his heels, as if warning or encouraging him. In one hand he holds a white rose, a symbol of innocence and purity. In the other, a small knapsack, all he carries into the unknown. Behind him, mountains rise in the distance, suggesting the trials and triumphs yet to come. Above, the sun blazes with clarity and hope. The Fool upright signals new beginnings, spontaneous adventures, and the courage to take a leap of faith. It invites you to trust in the journey ahead, even if the path isn't clear. There's beauty in the unknown, and sometimes progress means stepping into it with open arms and a curious heart. But reversed, the message shifts. It warns of reckless choices, impulsive behaviour, and the need for caution. Are you ignoring wise counsel or leaping without looking? Astrologically, the Fool is linked to Uranus and Aquarius, symbols of innovation, originality, and the freedom to be entirely yourself. Its element is air, echoing a sense of limitless potential. When the Fool appears in a reading, it often marks a time of unpredictability, change, and brave beginnings. Whether upright or reversed, it asks, are you ready to walk your own path? So next time the Fool turns up, pause and ask yourself, where in your life could a little faith take you somewhere entirely new? Today we meet the Magician, card number 1 in the Tarot's Major Arcana. He stands confidently at his altar, one hand raised to the sky, the other pointing to the earth. As above, so below. He is the channel between thought and reality, spirit and matter. Before him lie the symbols of the 4 suits, the wand, cup, sword, and pentacle. These represent the elements, the tools of life, and the magician's mastery over them. Above his head floats the infinity symbol, a reminder that his potential has no limits. Around his waist, a snake biting its tail speaks of transformation and cycles. He is surrounded by blooming flowers, manifestations of the seeds he's already sown. Upright, the Magician represents power, focus, and the ability to manifest your goals. It's a call to action. You have what you need. Now is the time to use your skills, your voice, and your will. Opportunities are at your fingertips if you act with clarity and intent. Reversed, however, the energy turns inward or becomes distorted. Here, the Magician warns of manipulation, confusion, or misused potential. Are you being honest with yourself and others? Are you using your influence wisely? This card is ruled by Mercury, planet of communication, intelligence, and movement. Its connection to Gemini and Virgo reinforces its message. Adapt, plan, and execute with purpose. The Magician's element is air and earth combined, where thought becomes form. When this card appears, it signals a powerful time for creation and transformation. But remember, what you manifest is shaped by your intention. Choose wisely. So ask yourself, what are you ready to create? And more importantly, are you ready to step into your own power? Meet the High Priestess, card number 2 of the Major Arcana, guardian of hidden knowledge and sacred wisdom. She sits serenely between two pillars, one black, one white. Boaz and Yakin, symbols of duality, balance, and mystery. She wears a flowing robe and a crown shaped like the triple moon, representing the maiden, mother, and crone, the divine feminine in all its phases. In her lap, a scroll marked Torah rests partly concealed, reminding us that not all knowledge is ready to be revealed. Behind her, a veil patterned with pomegranates separates the visible from the unseen. Beneath her feet lies a crescent moon, intuition, the subconscious, and the ever-turning cycle of inner growth. Upright, the High Priestess encourages reflection, silence, and the power of listening to your inner voice. It's not a time for action, but for observation. Answers are within reach, but they must be sensed rather than seen. She invites you to trust your instincts, honor your dreams, and protect your sacred space. Reversed, this card can point to confusion, ignored intuition, or secrets kept too tightly. Perhaps you're disconnected from your inner knowing or afraid to trust it. It's a gentle nudge to realign with your inner truth. Ruled by the moon and aligned with the sign of Cancer, the High Priestess is deeply emotional, intuitive, and sensitive. Her element is water, the realm of dreams, psychic insight, and emotional depth. When she appears, it's a powerful reminder that not all truths are logical. Some are felt, lived, and revealed only when we are quiet enough to listen. So ask yourself, are you tuning out the noise of the world long enough to hear the wisdom of your own soul? Welcome the Empress, card number 3 in the Major Arcana, and the embodiment of creation, beauty, and abundance. She sits upon a luxurious throne, surrounded by a lush landscape of forest, river, and golden fields of wheat. This is not just nature, it's nature in full bloom. She wears a robe patterned with pomegranates, ancient symbols of fertility and life force. A crown of 12 stars rests upon her head, connecting her to the cycles of the moon and the rhythms of the natural world. In her hand, a golden scepter, a symbol of her sovereignty over all that grows and flourishes. Upright, the Empress speaks of nurturing energy, creativity, and growth. She may signal the birth of a child, a project, or a new phase of life. Her message is one of encouragement. Cultivate what matters, tend to what feeds your spirit, and let your creativity flow freely. She invites you to care, to nourish, and to connect with the natural rhythms of life. Reversed, her energy becomes blocked or excessive. Perhaps you're giving too much and neglecting yourself, or struggling with creative stagnation. She asks you to find balance. You can't nurture others if your own well is empty. Astrologically, the Empress is ruled by Venus and resonates with Taurus and Libra. Love, beauty, harmony, and sensuality flow through her. Her element is earth, grounding her energy in the physical and material world. When the Empress appears, it's time to honor what is growing within and around you, whether it's a relationship, a garden, or your own inner self. Nurture it with love, patience, and care. So ask yourself, where in your life are you ready to grow, to create, and to truly thrive? Now we meet the Emperor, card number 4 in the Major Arcana, the archetype of structure, authority, and stability. He sits tall upon a solid stone throne, adorned with ram heads, the symbol of Aries, bold, determined, and unyielding. Clad in red robes and armor, he represents a powerful mix of passion and protection. He holds a scepter in one hand, an orb in the other, signs of dominion and worldly authority. Behind him rise barren mountains, reminders of endurance, strength, and the ability to withstand adversity. Upright, the Emperor offers guidance rooted in order, responsibility, and leadership. He calls you to take control of your life with confidence and discipline. If there's chaos, it's time to bring structure. If you've been passive, it's time to act with purpose and assert your authority. Reversed, the Emperor may reflect misuse of power, stubbornness, or inflexibility. Perhaps you're being overly controlling or resisting necessary change. It may also point to issues with authority figures or struggles around independence. Astrologically, the Emperor is linked to Aries and ruled by Mars, the planet of ambition, action, and drive. His element is fire, lending him a potent mix of energy, will, and determination. But unlike the untamed blaze of other fire cards, this fire is contained, directed, and steady. When the Emperor appears, it's a moment to ground yourself in responsibility, to lead with wisdom, and to uphold your own boundaries. He's a reminder that strength doesn't have to shout. True power often comes from calm, unwavering certainty. So ask yourself, where in your life could you bring more order, take the lead, or step into your authority with clarity and strength? Introducing the Hierophant, card number 5 in the Major Arcana, a spiritual teacher, a bridge between the divine and the earthly. He sits between two pillars, representing sacred law and tradition, wearing a triple crown that signifies his authority over mind, body, and spirit. In his left hand, he holds a scepter topped with a cross, a symbol of spiritual power. His right hand is raised in blessing. Below him, two followers kneel, representing devotion, learning, and the passing down of sacred knowledge. At his feet, two crossed keys, unlocking hidden truths, access to deeper wisdom. Upright, the Hierophant speaks of tradition, structure, and spiritual guidance. He encourages learning through established systems, religion, education, institutions. It's a call to seek wisdom from trusted mentors or time-honored paths. Sometimes this card reflects marriage, commitment, or shared beliefs within a community. Reversed and the energy changes. It may point to rebellion, questioning authority, or the need to break away from conventional expectations. You might be exploring your own beliefs, or feeling confined by outdated systems or rigid thinking. Astrologically, the Hierophant is associated with Taurus, ruled by Venus, connecting him not just to structure, but to values, harmony, and grounded commitment. His element is earth, reminding us that spiritual truth can be found in the tangible and the real. When the Hierophant appears, it's often a moment to pause and ask, what do I believe in? Where can I find guidance that aligns with my values? And am I living in a way that reflects those principles? So whether you're embracing tradition or redefining it, the Hierophant reminds you that wisdom doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's whispered through sacred rituals and quiet truths passed down through time. Now we turn to the Lovers, card number 6 in the Major Arcana, a symbol of union, harmony, and meaningful choice. At the centre, a man and a woman stand beneath the angel Raphael, whose presence offers guidance, healing, and divine protection. Behind the woman grows the tree of knowledge, its fruit glowing and a serpent coiled around the trunk, echoing the story of Eve and the wisdom gained through experience. Behind the man stands the tree of life, burning with 12 flames, representing the signs of the zodiac and the full scope of spiritual growth. A mountain rises between them, showing challenges to overcome through love, understanding, and shared truth. Upright, the Lovers represents more than romantic connection. It speaks to alignment, unity, and relationships built on trust and open communication. This card can signal a deep bond, a heartfelt decision, or a moment where your values are being tested. At its heart lies choice, not simply between people, but between paths that reflect who you truly are. Reverse, the card may warn of misalignment, conflict, or difficult decisions. It can point to disharmony, lack of clarity, or a need to reconnect with your values before making a commitment. Astrologically, the Lovers is ruled by Gemini and influenced by Mercury, planet of communication, intellect, and decision-making. Its element is air, reminding us that clarity, honesty, and conscious choice are vital in matters of the heart. When the Lovers appears, it invites you to reflect on connection, choice, and integrity. Are you acting in alignment with your higher self? And are the decisions before you made with love and clarity? Because in the end, the path you choose shapes not just where you go, but who you become. Meet the Chariot, card number 7 in the Major Arcana, a symbol of victory through willpower, focus, and determined action. A warrior stands tall in his chariot, armoured in celestial symbols, guided not by reins, but by the sheer force of his will. Before him are two sphinxes, one black and one white. They represent opposing forces, inner conflict, duality, the tug between desire and discipline. Yet he remains in control, ready to charge forward, balanced and composed. Behind him, a city fades into the distance. He has left behind the familiar and set out on a bold course. Above his head, a starry canopy connects him to the heavens. Though grounded in battle, his mission has spiritual significance. Upright, the chariot is a sign of triumph through determination. You may be facing a test, a challenge, or a crossroads, but success is within reach if you stay disciplined and keep your vision clear. It's about confidence, control, and knowing exactly where you're headed. Reversed, the chariot may suggest a loss of direction, scattered focus, or external forces pulling you off course. You may feel overwhelmed or lacking the inner drive needed to move forward. Regain your focus and don't let emotions steer the wheel. Astrologically, the chariot is ruled by Cancer, a sign of emotional strength and inner resolve. Though its shell is armour, its core is sensitive. This card reminds us that courage often comes from vulnerability and persistence. Its element is water, showing that mastery of emotion is just as vital as action. When the chariot appears, it's a message. You have what it takes to succeed, but only if you align your will, focus your energy, and steer your life with purpose. So ask yourself, what are you fighting for? And are you fully in command of your journey? Let's step into the energy of the Strength card, number 8 in the Major Arcana, and a symbol of inner power, patience, and calm courage. At the centre of the card, a gentle figure dressed in white softly tames a lion with nothing but her touch. She doesn't force or fight, she soothes. The lion, often fierce and wild, bows to her calm presence. This is not brute strength, it's grace under pressure. Above her head floats the infinity symbol, just as it does in the Magician card. Here, it reminds us that true strength is limitless when it comes from within. The landscape is tranquil, almost timeless, reflecting a harmony that's not easily shaken. Upright, the Strength card calls for resilience, compassion, and the courage to face life with patience and steady resolve. It may appear when you're being tested, when emotions run high, or when fear threatens to take over. This card reminds you, true power is quiet. It's the ability to remain kind, to stay grounded, even when the world gets loud. Reversed, strength might suggest self-doubt, impatience, or a struggle to control raw emotion. Perhaps you're feeling overwhelmed or disconnected from your own resilience. It's a gentle call to return to yourself and remember that soft strength is still strength. Astrologically, the card is linked to Leo and ruled by the sun, bringing themes of confidence, vitality, and heart-centered action. Its element is fire, but here the flame is steady, not wild. When strength appears, it's a reminder that you're capable of facing challenges without losing yourself. You don't need to roar to be powerful, so ask yourself, can you meet the moment with quiet courage? Can you tame the lion not with force, but with love? Now we encounter the Hermit, card number 9 in the Major Arcana, a symbol of solitude, wisdom, and inner truth. Standing alone on a mountain peak, the Hermit holds a lantern glowing with a 6-pointed star. This light isn't meant to illuminate the world around him, but to guide his next step, a gentle reminder that the path ahead is revealed only a little at a time. He leans on a staff, representing spiritual support and the strength that comes from within. The landscape is cold and barren, but that emptiness is deliberate. It creates space to hear the quiet voice of intuition, to strip back distraction and discover what truly matters. Upright, the Hermit calls you inward. It may be time to pause, to reflect, or to step away from the noise of everyday life. Whether it's meditation, solitude, or a break from social influence, this card invites you to search for clarity within yourself. Wisdom isn't always found outside. Sometimes it waits patiently in silence. Reverse, the Hermit can point to isolation taken too far, loneliness, or ignoring valuable insight from others. It may also suggest a refusal to slow down when reflection is most needed. Astrologically, the Hermit is linked to Virgo and ruled by Mercury. But here, communication is turned inward. It's not about speaking, but listening. Its element is earth, grounding its message in practicality, analysis, and meaningful introspection. When the Hermit appears, it often signals a turning point where insight comes not from action, but from stillness. It asks, what are you searching for, and are you willing to look inside to find it? So pause, breathe, light your lantern, and take that next quiet step forward. Next, we turn to the Wheel of Fortune, card number 10 in the Major Arcana, a powerful symbol of fate, cycles, and sudden change. At the centre spins a great golden wheel inscribed with mysterious letters, Tora, law, fate, or perhaps hidden knowledge. Around it are creatures from the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac: the angel, Aquarius; eagle, Scorpio; lion, Leo; and bull, Taurus. Each reads a book, showing that even in constant motion, there is wisdom to be found. Above the wheel sits a sphinx with a sword, guardian of riddles and truth. Below, a snake descends, and the Egyptian god Anubis rises, reminding us that what goes down must eventually rise again. Upright, the Wheel of Fortune speaks of change, destiny, and turning points. Life is shifting. For better or worse, the wheel is in motion. Sometimes it brings luck and opportunity, other times challenges. But either way, it reminds us nothing stays the same. Adaptability is your greatest strength now. Reversed, the card may signal resistance to change, a run of bad luck, or the feeling of being stuck in a pattern. You may not be in control, but you can choose how you respond. Even setbacks contain lessons. Astrologically, the wheel is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, fortune, and growth. Its energy is fiery and dynamic, ever urging you to evolve. Though connected to all signs through its cyclic nature, it's most tied to the fixed signs, showing the balance between change and stability. When the Wheel of Fortune appears, it's a sign that life is in motion. Destiny may be at play, but your choices still matter. So ask yourself, are you clinging to the past or ready to move with the rhythm of change? Now we arrive at the Justice card, number 11 in the Major Arcana, representing fairness, truth, and accountability. A figure sits upon a stone throne, poised between 2 grey pillars. In their right hand, they hold a double-edged sword, pointing upwards, a symbol of truth, clarity, and the power to cut through illusion. In the left hand, balanced scales weigh all actions with impartial judgment. They wear a red robe, signifying passion governed by reason, and a square crown representing mental clarity and moral responsibility. Upright justice brings a call for honesty and integrity. It reflects cause and effect, reminding you that your actions have consequences. If you're seeking resolution, this card suggests fairness will prevail, but only if you've acted with honour. It's a moment of reckoning, of decisions made with clear logic rather than emotion. Reversed, justice may indicate imbalance, dishonesty, or a refusal to take responsibility. It might point to an unfair outcome, or to a situation where truth is being avoided. It also asks, are you being honest with yourself? True justice starts within. Astrologically, justice is ruled by Libra and the planet Venus, a combination of balanced values and the pursuit of harmony through truth. Its element is air, aligning it with clarity, analysis, and intellectual fairness. When justice appears, it's not just about right and wrong, it's about alignment, living in accordance with your truth, and being accountable for your decisions, no matter the outcome. So ask yourself, are you acting in a way that aligns with your values? Are you ready to take responsibility for your choices, knowing that true balance cannot be faked? Because in the end, justice doesn't just observe, it remembers, and it restores what's fair. Now we encounter the Hanged Man, card number 12 in the Major Arcana, a symbol of surrender, new perspective, and spiritual pause. Suspended upside down from a T-shaped tree, the figure hangs calmly by one foot. His expression is serene, not distressed. Around his head glows a radiant halo, symbolizing enlightenment, not in spite of the suspension, but because of it. His red leggings speak of grounded desire and life force, while his blue tunic represents knowledge, calm, and introspection. Upright, the Hanged Man invites you to let go of control, to stop struggling, and to see the world differently. It's a call for stillness, patience, and deep reflection. Sometimes the only way forward is to pause and look at things from a new angle. This card often appears when you're being asked to release expectations or resist the urge to push ahead. Reversed, the Hanged Man can suggest stagnation, delays, or an unwillingness to shift perspective. You may be clinging to old beliefs or resisting change. It's time to ask, what are you afraid to release? Astrologically, the Hanged Man is linked to Neptune and the sign of Pisces. Deeply spiritual, intuitive, and attuned to the unseen. Its element is water, highlighting themes of emotion, flow, and spiritual depth. When the Hanged Man appears, it's a quiet yet profound message. Growth often comes not through action, but through stillness. You may need to surrender to the unknown, trust the process, and allow transformation to unfold in its own time. So ask yourself, what would happen if you stopped trying to force it? What truth might emerge if you simply paused and allowed yourself to see things differently? Because sometimes the most powerful shift is not movement, it's a change in perspective. Now we face the Death card, number 13 in the Major Arcana. Don't be alarmed. This card isn't about physical death. It's about endings, transformation, and the space cleared for something new to emerge. A skeletal figure in black armor rides a white horse, steady and unstoppable. In his hand, a black flag bearing a white rose flutters, a symbol of purification and new beginnings. Around him, people from all walks of life bow or fall. None are exempt. Change comes for everyone. In the background, the sun rises between two towers, a sign that after every ending, a new day always begins. A river winds through the landscape, reflecting the flow of life and the inevitability of transitions. Upright, death signifies a profound transformation. It may be the end of a cycle, a mindset, a relationship, or an identity. Something has reached its natural conclusion. Though it may feel difficult, this ending clears space for growth, freedom, and personal rebirth. It is not a punishment, but a release. Reversed death can point to resistance. Perhaps you're clinging to the past, avoiding the truth, or fearing change. Holding on will only delay what must eventually unfold. Astrologically, death is ruled by Scorpio and Pluto, deep, intense, and unafraid of the shadows. Its element is water, carrying emotional transformation, and the wisdom found through surrender. When death appears, it reminds you that nothing truly ends without something else beginning. Letting go isn't failure, it's evolution. So ask yourself, what are you ready to release? And what could flourish if you made peace with the end? Because the Death card is not an omen of loss, it's a doorway, and on the other side, a powerful new beginning. Now we arrive at Temperance, card number 14 in the Major Arcana, a symbol of balance, moderation, and divine flow. At the centre stands an angel, radiant and calm. One foot rests on land, the other dips gently into water, bridging the physical and emotional realms. The angel pours water between two golden cups, an act of alchemy, blending opposites with perfect harmony. Behind, a path leads to a rising sun, a future shaped not by extremes, but by quiet, steady progress. The triangle within the angel's robe, enclosed in a square, speaks of spirit grounded in matter. Nothing is rushed here. Every movement is deliberate, fluid, and intentional. Upright, Temperance brings a message of equilibrium. Now is the time for patience, restraint, and thoughtful choices. Whether you're navigating relationships, healing, or pursuing a goal, this card asks you to stay centered. Balance emotion with logic, ambition with rest. Blend, don't force. Temperance is the art of keeping just the right pace. Reverse, this card can suggest imbalance, overindulgence, or a lack of focus. You might be swinging between extremes, or struggling to find your center. It's a nudge to realign, slow down, and restore harmony. Astrologically, Temperance is linked to Sagittarius and ruled by Jupiter, symbols of growth, higher understanding, and optimism. Its element is fire, but tempered, focused, and wise. When Temperance appears, it's a gentle but powerful reminder. Healing and progress often come not through dramatic action, but through grace, patience, and steady alignment. So ask yourself, where can you find more balance? What might shift if you chose the middle path? Because sometimes the most powerful transformation comes not from bold leaps, but from the quiet art of harmony. Now we face the Devil, card number 15 in the Major Arcana, and one of the most misunderstood. This card doesn't symbolize evil itself, but rather the chains we forge from our own fears, desires, and illusions. A horned winged figure sits on a black pedestal, watching over a man and woman who stand naked and chained. But look closer, the chains are loose. They could leave if they chose to. The devil doesn't imprison. He tempts, distracts, and entices. Above his head, an inverted pentagram points to the dominance of the material over the spiritual. Upright, the devil represents temptation, addiction, and entrapment. It speaks to the patterns that hold you back, whether it's a toxic relationship, destructive habits, or the lies you tell yourself. It's the shadow we all carry. And the moment we confront it, we begin to regain power. Reversed, the devil is a powerful sign of release, breaking free from harmful cycles, confronting fear, and reclaiming your autonomy. It can also signal denial, ignoring what needs to be addressed, or hiding from the truth. Astrologically, the devil is ruled by Capricorn and Saturn, symbols of limitation, structure, and the lessons we must learn the hard way. Its element is earth, grounding this card in the realm of physical urges, materialism, and survival instincts. When the devil appears, it's a mirror, not to shame or scare, but to ask, what are you giving your power to? And are you ready to take it back? Because the real prison is not outside of you. It's the one built from unacknowledged fear and forgotten freedom. And the key, it's always in your hand. Now we come to the Tower, card number 16 in the Major Arcana, striking and unforgettable. The Tower represents sudden upheaval, revelation, and the breaking apart of false foundations. A tall structure is hit by lightning, flames bursting from its windows. The crown at its peak is flung into the air. Two figures fall, cast out by the force of the blast. The sky is dark, the scene chaotic, but this destruction is not without purpose. Upright, the tower is a sign of dramatic change. Something is being torn down, a belief, a structure, a way of life. It may feel shocking, even painful, but this card brings necessary truth. What was built on illusion cannot last. The tower doesn't destroy at random. It clears space for what is real. Reversed, the card can signal resistance to change or fear of collapse. Perhaps the signs were there, but you've been trying to ignore them. The longer instability is left unaddressed, the more forcefully it tends to fall. It can also point to inner transformation, a quiet personal breakdown, or awakening not seen by others. Astrologically, the tower is ruled by Mars, planet of conflict, force, and action. Its energy is abrupt, fiery, and non-negotiable. Associated with Aries and Scorpio, this card demands honesty and courage. Its element is fire, but this fire burns to purify. When the tower appears, it's not just an ending, it's a wake-up call. The ground may shake, but what remains after will be truer, stronger, more aligned. So ask yourself, what are you clinging to that's already falling apart? What truth is waiting to set you free? Because sometimes, only through the breakdown do we discover what was worth building all along. After the storm of the tower comes the calm of the star, card number 17 in the Major Arcana, a symbol of hope, healing, and spiritual renewal. The star is a gentle light that guides you home to yourself. A nude woman kneels by a pool of water. One jug pours into the pool, nourishing the subconscious. The other flows onto the land, offering life to the material world. She is balanced, present, and unafraid. Her nudity speaks of authenticity, vulnerability, and inner strength. Above her shines one large central star, surrounded by 7 smaller ones, guiding light's divine presence and spiritual inspiration. In the background, a bird perches peacefully in a tree, reminding us that freedom and calm follow after chaos. Upright, the star brings a message of renewal. After difficulty, there is healing. After darkness, light returns. This card signals inspiration, inner clarity, and a reconnection with your purpose. It's a time to trust in yourself, in the future, and in the unseen forces working in your favour. Reversed, the star can reflect self-doubt, despair, or feeling lost. You may have forgotten your worth or your vision. This card gently encourages you to seek out light, even if it's just a flicker, and begin to believe in possibility again. Astrologically, the star is linked to Aquarius and ruled by Uranus, a sign of vision, originality, and collective healing. Its element is air, connecting it to clarity, breath, and higher thought. When the star appears, it's a breath of fresh air after a long struggle, a quiet but certain promise. You are on the path of healing. So ask yourself, What is your guiding light? And are you ready to follow it forward with openness and trust? Now we journey into the moon, card number 18, in the major arcana, a realm of mystery, illusion, and the subconscious mind. A glowing full moon hangs in a twilight sky, casting a silvery light over a dreamlike landscape. Below, a narrow path winds into the distance between two towers. A dog and a wolf stand on either side, howling, the tame and the wild, instinct and reason. From the water below, a crayfish slowly emerges, symbolizing the rise of hidden thoughts and feelings. Upright, the moon speaks of uncertainty, intuition, and things not being as they seem. It's a card of the in-between, of dreams, fears, and the unknown. You may feel confused or unable to see the full picture. This card invites you to trust your instincts, to move slowly and gently, and to honor what your subconscious is trying to tell you. Reversed, the moon can indicate illusions lifting, confusion clearing, or hidden truths coming to light. It may also warn against ignoring intuition or falling prey to fantasy and deception. What is real? What is imagined? The moon asks you to tread carefully. Astrologically, the moon card is linked to Pisces and ruled by Neptune. Energies of emotion, sensitivity, dreams, and spiritual depth. Its element is water, guiding us through feeling rather than logic. When the moon appears, it's a sign you're moving through a time of emotional depth, uncertainty, or inner exploration. Not everything will make sense, and that's all right. This card doesn't demand answers. It asks for awareness, patience, and trust in the journey. So ask yourself, what lies beneath the surface? What truth are you ready to uncover? Not through sight, but through intuition. Because sometimes the clearest guidance comes not in daylight, but in moonlight. Welcome the Sun, card number 19 in the major arcana, and one of the brightest, most joyful cards in the deck. It represents clarity, vitality, and radiant success. A glowing sun dominates the sky, shining with unwavering light. Below, a child rides freely on a white horse, arms open in pure joy. The red banner the child holds waves boldly, a sign of energy, victory, and celebration. Behind them, sunflowers bloom tall and strong, symbols of life, growth, and alignment with the light. Upright, the sun signals happiness, confidence, and a sense of achievement. Things are coming into full view now. Clarity replaces confusion, optimism returns, and your path is illuminated. This is a time of abundance, harmony, and feeling fully alive. The sun reminds you that joy is not just possible, it's your birthright. Reversed, the sun's energy may be blocked or delayed. There could be self-doubt, temporary setbacks, or hidden issues beneath an otherwise positive surface. But the core meaning remains hopeful. The light is still there, waiting to break through. Astrologically, the sun card is ruled by the sun itself and corresponds with Leo, bringing themes of self-expression, creativity, and heart-led confidence. Its element is fire, igniting inspiration, passion, and momentum. When the sun appears, it's a moment to shine, to move forward with confidence, to enjoy the present, and to trust in your own light. Whatever you've been working toward is now blossoming. So ask yourself, where is joy trying to enter your life? Are you letting it in? Because the sun doesn't just light the way, it invites you to thrive, to grow, and to live fully in your truth. Now we reach Judgement, card number 20 in the major arcana, and a powerful symbol of awakening, redemption, and transformation. An angel, Archangel Gabriel, blows a great trumpet from the sky. Below, people rise from their graves with arms outstretched, answering the call. Their expressions are open, not fearful, but accepting. They are ready to face what comes next. In the distance, mountains rise, marking the trials that have already been overcome, and the new spiritual heights that lie ahead. Upright, Judgement signals a moment of reflection and clarity. You are being called to account, not as punishment, but as a chance to grow. This card asks you to review your past with honesty, take responsibility, and move forward with purpose. It's about spiritual awakening, releasing guilt, and stepping into your higher calling. Reversed Judgement may indicate avoidance, fear of change, or hesitation in facing the truth. Perhaps you're holding on to shame or ignoring a clear sign from within. It's a gentle yet firm reminder. Until you look back honestly, you can't move forward fully. Astrologically, Judgement is ruled by Pluto and aligned with Scorpio. the sign of transformation, rebirth, and deep emotional truth. Its element is fire, representing purification, renewal, and the spark of new life. When Judgement appears, it's time to listen, not to the outside world, but to the deeper voice within. Something in your life is ready to be released, and something greater is waiting to begin. So ask yourself, what truth are you ready to face? What version of yourself are you being called to become? Because Judgement isn't an ending, it's a rebirth, and a powerful step into the future you were always meant to live. We've come to the end of the Major Arcana. Card number 21, the World, a symbol of completion, fulfillment, and cosmic harmony. At the center, a woman dances within a great laurel wreath, a sign of victory, wholeness, and the successful end of a journey. She holds 2 wands, one in each hand, representing balance and mastery. Her posture is free, flowing, and assured. She has become both student and teacher, seeker and guide. Surrounding her are 4 figures: a lion, a bull, an eagle, and an angel. These represent the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac: Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Together, they symbolize stability across the 4 corners of the universe and alignment with the elements of life: fire, earth, water, and air. Upright, the world, signifies achievement, integration, and the successful conclusion of a cycle. You've come full circle, wiser, stronger, and ready for what's next. It's a moment to celebrate how far you've come and recognize that what you've created or learned is now fully part of you. Reversed, this card can indicate delays, unfinished business, or a sense that something is nearly complete, but not quite resolved. It may also suggest a need to tie up loose ends before you can truly move on. Astrologically, the world is ruled by Saturn, planet of mastery, discipline, and long-term growth. Its element is earth, grounding its message in real-world accomplishment and enduring truth. When the world appears, it's a powerful sign that you've reached a major milestone. What once felt distant is now in your hands. So ask yourself, what have you completed? What are you now ready to begin? Because every ending in the tarot is also a threshold, and beyond this door lies the next great journey.